Hi there, I'm Dane, and welcome back to Learning Cypress plus Cucumber. Today, we're going to write the test for uncompleting a to-do. But before we do that, I just want to mention, if you want the GitHub repository, it's going to be in the description below. And if you have any questions or comments, put them down in the comment section below, and I'd be happy to answer them. So let's get into uncompleting a to-do. So let's look at what it means to uncomplete a to-do. So here's our application here. And if we click in this section, we complete the to-do. And then if we click again, we uncomplete the to-do. And so what we can actually determine is that we're toggling the to-do by clicking on these in this place here. So we currently have a test called complete a to-do. And I think it's actually a bit more appropriate to rename this to toggle a to-do. And so since we've renamed that, we need to rename the folder where the steps are located. So we'll rename that toggle a to-do. And so we have our feature, which is toggle a to-do. And we have a scenario complete a to-do, which is one part of toggling a to-do. And now we have to add another feature. And I've got that feature pre-written here, or scenario rather. So here's our second scenario, uncomplete a to-do. So given I have a single to-do called a test to-do and it's already completed, and I navigate to the home page and the home page is loaded, when I uncomplete a test to-do, then I see the following to-dos. Now we see that it is still there, but completed is changed from true to false, and we can see that we still have one item left. And as we can see from the Visual Studio Code plugin that I have, that we just need to implement this step right here. So let's look at the steps that we have in the toggle a to-do folder. We've got a step here called when I complete and then the to-do name. And so we want to enhance this step so that it can support both when I uncomplete blank and when I complete blank. And so one way we could do that is we could just copy and paste this whole section here and then just add uncomplete. But then we've got duplicated code in each of these steps. We could extract this code out to a function and then call it in each of our step definitions here. Or we could define our step definition up the top here with a bit more flexibility. So Cucumber supports the ability to add word, and this will match any string that is a single word, but it doesn't need the double quotes around the outside of it. And single words can have hyphens within them, and so that will work. But what that means is that we could just type in anything right here. When I blank, 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 a test to do, this step will still match. And we don't want to do that. We want to try and define exactly what the, what should we call it? The toggle action type is, so that anyone using these steps going further knows that it is one of either complete or incomplete. And so we can do that by defining our custom parameter type. So we go up to the top of our file and we define parameter type. And in order to define a parameter type, we pass in an object with the name toggle action. So this is the thing that we're going to put in curly braces inside of our step definition. And then we can use various different options here, but the one we're going to use today is a regular expression. And we'll define it here. It's either complete or incomplete. And save that. We'll just put a space there. So now this should match our new step. When I toggle action string. And so if we just have to close a toggle to do, and then we should reopen it, and now we can see that it's matching it, matching that step. And the one last thing we need to do is rename this file. So when I rename, when I toggle action string, and so that matches directly our step definition here. Toggle a to do. We can see we've got two scenarios in toggle a to do. We've got complete a to do and uncomplete a to do. So let's go and run these tests and see if they work. So we'll start the application, localhost 4200, just as we've got up here, and npm run sci open. Let's open up Cypress. Here's our Cypress window, and we've got toggle a to do.feature. Let's see if these two scenarios pass. And it doesn't pass because it expects to find complete within the element label, but it never did. So let's have a look at what happened there. I think I know what happened here. Because we have two parameterized or parameters within this step, but we're only using one here. So we need to say the first one is the toggle action. Even though we're not doing anything with this parameter, we can maybe put an underscore at the front there. We're not using it in here anywhere. Hit save, and let's run those tests again. We have two parameters in our definition. We need two parameters in our function definition. And as we can see, both of these tests are passing. Let's close that. Let's run all of the tests just to ensure we haven't broken anything else with our changes. And everything still passes. So just to recap, we added the scenario to test uncompleting or toggling a to-do from completed to not completed. We changed the name of our feature from complete a to-do to toggle a to-do. And we learn about how we can define custom parameter options that we can use to help our fellow developers understand that the options that we have here are either complete or incomplete. If you type something else in that section right here, so let's just demonstrate that. We'll just put my name. I think maybe the VS Code plugin is not smart enough to detect that that is not the right thing. But that test will not pass. It won't match that step in that case. Okay, and so that's it for today's episode. If you liked what you saw, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and also give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section below, or come and hang out on twitch.tv/Dane Harnett. I stream there live coding, all sorts of different things 3 times a week. And if you're on Twitter, go and add me on there at twitter.com/Dane Harnett. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.